So I am in Aruba, and I told y'all that there wasn't going to be a video today. However, let me sit y'all down. This video is not going to be edited. It's not going to be pretty, but we need to talk, okay? So y'all will see in the Aruba vlog everything that has got me to this point. I'm sitting here eating some nasty truffle macaroni and cheese that I got, and I'm journaling. Okay, No Woman Left Behind, Guided Journal. I've been reading the book by Sarah Jakes Roberts. I was supposed to be reading that, but I started journaling, and this question here, it triggered something in me. The question is, note here any life events that may have ruptured the security and confidence God intended for you to enjoy. And I started writing the answers the other day, and then I came back to it just now, and I was reflecting on my life experiences, like what made me feel less confident as a woman, less secure as a woman, what made me feel less in my feminine, right? Because that is a big piece of this healing, that's a big part of this healing journey that we are on, to heal from fibroids and to just like heal in general, but especially with the healing from fibroids journey. And I'm here trying to let go of some things. And so as I reflected on that question, what things happened in my life that made me feel less confident and less secure? And it was me having to be the protector instead of the protected. And I wrote that down, and that just did so much for me, because I'm the oldest child of 4 children to a single teen mother, and I took on the role of the mother child for my younger siblings. And so whenever there was an issue, I was taking care of them, like in the streets. If they had a bully, I was fighting boys. I was doing all the things to make sure that my siblings were okay, that my boy siblings were okay. And I don't recall having baby dolls and like getting dressed up like as a girl, because they dressed me as like a little boy. I mean, I have some baby pictures and like where I was like trying to be girly, but it never really, it never really clicked, because I don't think the women in my family were that feminine. No, I know the women in my family were not that feminine, so they couldn't teach me about femininity. And there was just so many things that happened and transpired where I had to protect myself, and I didn't necessarily have someone to protect me, or I didn't feel like I could say I need protection from this. And then what's worse is that what happens when you need protected from the people or person who's supposed to be your protector. Like as a child, like as a child, you're like going through some things and processing through some things, and I don't feel safe coming to you with this because I'm scared of you, And I also want to mention that as you get older, you don't lose that responsibility of being the protector as opposed to being the protected. Because even now as a grown adult, I'm still expected to show up and protect grown-ups, grown men. I'm a woman, and no shade to my family at all, but it's just the reality of a lot of Black women, especially Black women in situations We are expected to take care of ourselves. We're expected to take care of the house. We're expected to take care of the men. We're expected to take care of the children. We're expected to take care of everybody around us. But like, who's taking care of us? When do we get the say so and saying, no, I'm not doing that anymore? Take care of yourself. You know, like, we always have to think about everybody outside of us. And we tend to come last, secondary to everything else going on in our lives. And that's why we deal with these things that we deal with in our bodies. And that's not fair. And I'm 33 now. And the first time somebody told me, you're not responsible for everybody else around you. You're not, a few weeks ago, you know? And I felt like I had to leave home in order to not be responsible for people. And I feel like that has hurt my relationships in a lot of ways, because I was running from the responsibility because I didn't want it anymore. It's like, you can't run from it because they still need you. It's because my mom is deceased now. So it's like that even more, you know, exacerbated the fact that, you know, I was the mommy sister, and then mommy's no longer here. And so now I'm actually the mommy sister. And so I've just been processing what that looks like, because whenever I've decided to choose myself, there was guilt that came with choosing me, you know? And I still feel like that. I still get like that. And so, yeah, it's a lot of processing. And I'm hoping that me sharing this with y'all is like, you know, opening somebody else's ears, and I'm not just, you know, talking on my ass, but I am just, you know, sharing my experiences with y'all because shit's real. And I think about how many other young women deal with this, how it can play into their feelings of lack of security. And that's what I've been struggling with. One of the root causes of the fibroids with my situation has been fear of abandonment, rejection, and security. I've been listening to affirmations to try to build or reprogram my mind around the idea of security. And that's been a journey, but I think I just cracked something here. And this is a good journal. And I told y'all I'm really big on journaling, but a guided journal, now that's something else. And while I've been here in Aruba these last 4 or 5 days, no, I've been here since Tuesday, so these last 3 days, I started off very, very afraid, not feeling protected, like I couldn't protect myself, like I wouldn't be protected as I traveled. But God has been protecting me. And I didn't know that as a child, that I was, you know, I still had covering. And that those experiences, while very unfortunate, I'm still processing why all of that stuff happened to me. And I'm grieving that little girl, and I'm hurting for her. I'm hurting with her, and I'm healing with her. That's what I've been doing while I've been here. And I'm grateful that I had the opportunity and the ability to take this solo trip. These women that I've been meeting have traveled to like so many different countries this year. And I'm like, how the hell are y'all doing this? Eat, praying, and loving your way across the entire country. But God has been moving for me these last few days. And as I'm going through this journal and asking, answering these questions, and also relating to how she talks about Eve in the Bible, I appreciate this so much. I seen Sarah Jack Roberts at the beginning of 2023, and that's when I got this book, and I never touched it. You know how sometimes like you want to do something but you just don't feel ready? That's where I was with this. It's like I wasn't ready to face myself. I wasn't ready to let go of the things that I knew I needed to let go of. I wasn't ready to forgive the people that I knew I needed to forgive. And I'm still working through it. And not like I've been journaling while I've been here, but like that part is hard, because how do you get over grieving people who are still living? How do you forgive people without an apology? How do you forgive and keep moving? Like, when these people, they're not holding themselves accountable. They don't care about how they hurt you. How do you move on from that? It's not easy. I'm just sitting here pouring my heart out to y'all, but this is how I'm feeling. And I think that many of us on this healing journey can relate to these feelings, This is really just me being vulnerable and transparent about where I am on mine. One thing I will say is that Black women are awesome, because the encounters that I've had with the women since I've been in Aruba who have been here, the group of women and then the other solo travel women, we've talked about everything under the sun. We've cried, we've had spiritual connections, we've laughed, we've bonded, we've talked about grief, we've talked about friendships, we talked about intentionality. And I feel like I'm changing. I know it's not an overnight thing, but I want to be intentional about these next steps. And I think that when we are journeying, whether solo or with others, it is important to be intentional about that journey, right? Just being open-minded. It says here, get real about where you're stuck. If you're not ready to grow, then it's not going to be time. Like it asks you, what is one goal that you set for your personal behavior based on your faith? A character goal that I have for myself is, and then it says, but I've made the following choices that have compromised that goal. It's really telling you to like reflect on who you are and why you are not the person that you want to be. What has been holding you back? And this is between you and yourself and God. Like, you don't have to share this with nobody. And I don't know. My goal for 2024 is to just be more intentional in my relationships with myself, with God, with my friends, with my husband, with my family, and trying to figure out what that means for me, what that looks like. And I don't know if people think about that, I don't know if people consider how they show up in their relationships as opposed to how they want people in their relationships to show up for them. And that's something that I've always been really big on. But yeah, as I reflected on this, having to be the protector instead of the protected, man. Yeah. And so now, being in a space where I feel protected by God, I feel safe in my relationship with my husband, I feel safe in my friendships, and then it also causes me to reflect on the friendships and relationships that I don't feel safe in, that I have to protect myself in. That's not good. You should not be in friendships or relationships that you have to protect yourself in, right? So here's to the journey. A journey of breaking up with your fears and revolutionizing your life. Shout out to her. Yeah, I'm breaking up with fear because I'm here in Aruba by myself. And yeah. So I just wanted to share that thought with y'all because I was writing, I was journaling, and it was on my heart that if you are struggling to let go of something, just let it go. Pray about it. Recognize that it's no longer serving you. I feel like there's a part 2 to this coming because I have something else to say. But that's what I got for y'all right now. Okay? Love y'all. Good night. Bye.